Hello Flosstube! My name is Natalia and this is my channel, Official Mermaids Cove, where I share my cross-stitching hobby and some other crafty things I do. Thank you for visiting my channel today. So in this video I'm going to be going over kind of a monthly wrap-up for August. Today's September 1st. So I'm just going to go over what I've been stitching on for the past week, any stitchy haul that I might have, and my plans moving forward, as well as any Flosstubers that I want to shout out. Okay, so we're going to start with what I was stitching on. I've been doing the Ever After Sal that's posted by Thrifted Fabric Co. I bought the kit, so I'm using the called for, well, the kit threads and fabric. The fabric that I got was the 32 count Belfast linen, and I'm stitching it 2/2. So this was the weekly release we got last Monday. Tomorrow we should be getting this release, and then this will be the last release the week after that on Monday. So we're almost done. If I pull this out, that's the top there. So it's got like different quotes and sayings from the movie. I'm really liking this. The fabric is beautiful. The threads are beautiful. I love the charting on these little segments. Each new part just makes the scene of the movie come up in my head. I love this movie so much. So yeah, really enjoyed stitching on it. I've been taking this to work and stitching this on my lunch hour, so that's how I've been keeping up with it mostly. But yeah, I'll definitely have to look out. This was the first Sal from Thrifted Fabric that I participated in. So I have another kit of theirs that I bought, so I might be stitching that over autumn, once fall gets here, which is not here yet. I'm still hanging on to my last bit of summer. And the weather certainly still feels like summer here in Tennessee, so. Okay, so I stitched on that. The next thing, we started our Sal, the Friendship Retreat Sal, that was being hosted by Stitching Scotty. I'm using one of Carry a Tiger Lily's project cards because I use different variegated threads than what the chart called for. If you are interested in these, she has these in her store. They're like cute vintage postcards, but on the other side they'll have like the project information. I have the name of the chart. I need to fix this. So we got this fabric that we're stitching this on from Alicia. I want to say Fabulous Flamingo. That could be true. Sure, let's go with that. But I think somebody said that it was for a box, so I thought it was just a mystery fabric, but I think it's called Mary. I know Grace Knows Fabrics names it after like actual people's names. And we started it on August 25th. I subbed out some of my threads. I kind of talked about those in the last video. But this is the chart that we were stitching, the Noblest part by Sweet Wing Studio. Friendship above all ties does bind the heart, and faith and friendship is the noblest part. I guess that's a quote from Roger Boyle, the first Earl of Orrery. But these are threads. I've been using all the floss cards that I got. I think these were given to me by Holly Neal at Hobbies of Holly. So I put all my DMC on there, and then I have the cards that my variegated threads are on. I'm using Gentle Arts Cherry Wine, Night Stalker Calling Thalassa, Fufu Flamingo, Classic Colorworks Belsois, Gargoyle by Forbidden Fabric Co. And then the last one is a silk by Stitch Me. It's called Joedicke. I'm sure I butchered that, but it feels so nice. So those are my colors, and then the rest of it's just the called for DMC. I didn't change any of those colors. You can see here that it called for a lot of classic colorworks and gentle arts. So I just went with what I had in stash. And this is where I'm at so far. I know my table mates from Stitch Florida are stitching this as round robin. So I finished the section we wanted to do to start off with. All these little blocks, you know, you see all of those, and I'm usually like a full coverage stitcher, or I stitch on bigger things, and I'm like, oh man, that's gonna be like a bunch of little bitty stitches. But it's actually really fun to do. I actually enjoyed doing it, and I got to like, you know, got to stitch with all the different threads that I chose. The floss card color, I mean, it didn't blend completely into this fabric, but I just outlined it a bit more so that it wouldn't completely fade and it would stand out more. So I've stitched the first floss card and the needle, and I put my name and the state for that. So that's where we're at, or at least where I am at with mine. If you are stitching on this on Instagram, feel free to tag me, or Stitching Scotty, and then of course use the hashtag friendship retreat. So but yeah, I'm having fun participating in this. I look forward to shipping this off to the next person and getting the next one to start on the next part. We're kind of doing like monthly parts. It's not we're not in any kind of rush, so we will see how we get along with that. The next project I've been working on is my Yin Yang Dragons. This is a Gecko Rouge kit, artwork based off artwork by Jonas Joedicke. His name's right there. And I'm stitching this on 28 count gridded even weave that I chose for the kit. I'm stitching this with a combination of 1/1 and 2/110 on 28 count. I got 5,000 stitches in for the month of August, which was my goal. I'm going to try to see if I can finish this month, but we'll talk about that more in the plan section. But yeah, I stitched some more down here. There seems to be like less stitching at the bottom here, and I'm trying to maybe cut down on using my Q-snap or moving it around as much. But I don't know. I kind of seem to default to doing color completing in a lot of my full coverage, so I might just end up keep moving around if that's how I'm making progress, because that's the goal, is to make progress on it at the end of the day. But yep, I'm at 70%, a little over 70% now with this, so less than 20,000 stitches to go. So it's kind of exciting to see it getting closer and closer to finish. The next one, I wanted to touch on this. I haven't touched on this since I started at the retreat. This is something that came in the Mermaid box from Under the Sea Fabrics last year. It's Blue Lagoon Mermaid by Filipina Designs. I'm stitching it on the kit fabric. It came as a kit, so I'm using all the call for DMC, and the fabric is a 16 count opalescent Ada dyed by Under the Sea Fabrics called Amphitrite. So this is where I'm at. I had some of the fishies done initially, and so I came back and outlined more of the tail, and we'll see how we go from here. I might make this something that I take to work every now and then, because the Ever After sale is supposed to be finishing up here in like middle of September, so I'll need another take to work project. I don't know, we'll see. I still want to make some progress on this, and this isn't a really big stitch, so I'm hoping to get it done sooner rather than later, so I might get this done before the end of the year. But the fabric's beautiful. Leslie does an amazing job, and I love the sparkles. And this is my first Bella Filipina design that I've actually stitched on. I got some charts gifted to me for Christmas, but I haven't started or kitted any of those up. So this is the first one I'm working on, and so far, so good. It's going good. And I am stitching that 2/1 on the 16 count needle. Then the last thing, I didn't want to not get any work on done. This is this is the biggest chart I've ever worked on. It's another Gecko Rouge kit. It's a Dailen based off artwork by Dailen Ogden. This is Dracarys, you know, has a Art Nouveau style depiction of Daenerys and her 3 dragons. I'm also stitching it on 28 count gridded even weave. Also doing 2/1/10. This is actually more 2/1/10 than the Yin Yang Dragons is, but I do 1/1 every now and then when I'm doing like a bunch of single stitches here and there. So I stitched 1,000 stitches on this, a little over 1,000 stitches. That was my goal for August. I did some here on the dragon, and I did a little bit more filling in here. I think that was just like the low-hanging fruit to get the 1,000 stitches in, because I know I had a plan of working on these fire motifs and getting those done before I got more work done on the dragon, but I'm just trying to keep my motivation going for the project, so I'm doing what I can to keep getting little bits in here and there. But yeah, still liking it. Still really liking how the charting's working up. It's not quite, it's just under 250,000 stitches, so 225,000 stitches, so it's just under 225,000 stitches. It's quite a large project, so I do want to get more progress into it, so I'm hoping if I get some more progress on some of my other full coverages, I can focus on this more diligently. Okay, so that's everything I worked on for the past week. I know I've shown what I've worked on since the beginning of the month. I finished my letter E for Nora. I can insert a picture here. And I fully finished her, have her framed up and everything. I also finished my Beauty and the Beast, and also insert a picture here by Autum Lane Stitchery. I haven't fully finished that. I haven't decided what I'm going to do with it yet, so I have it nice and rolled up and put away for now. I also finished Lady Catt. I actually do have that nearby where I can show you. It's by a Nora Corbett design. I stitched her on a 28 count unknown linen. Yeah, it's linen. Unknown to me. And I did a 2/2 with everything called for except I did a skin conversion, and I posted that in these are all the carved for beads and everything, but I did the skin conversion. I think I also mentioned that for the beads they call for 2 packages of these like white frosted beads. I only needed 1, but it was a close call, so if you think you might lose beads somewhere, I understand why they would call for 2. I think they also called for 2 skeins of the white DMC. I think I only ended up using 1, but I understand why. Like if you get close to that point, they want to make sure you have more or enough to finish the project in case you have to frog or anything happens. But that was just my experience. Did cut it kind of close. I made a mistake when I was calculating the size of the fabric, and I realized what it was now, but I'm glad that I still had just enough margin to do it like this, and I have no problem with the way that it worked up, and I'm probably going to frame it with this fabric that I stitched on to be able to put into the cube step. So yeah, I'm happy with that. So that is 3 finishes for August. I also fully finished one of my Chinese edit kits this past month. I used Carrie at Tiger Lily's tote bag tutorial to make this. I just did this backing fabric. I've had this fabric in my stash for a while. I've been having the idea to do this and then just got around to doing it. Right now it has a crochet project in it, but that's the inner fabric. I did 2 different fabrics just because that's what I had in stash. And the belting I got from Joann's. And then the last thing that I stitched on for the month of August, I didn't stitch on it this past week, but it was just one of the projects that I worked on, so I figured since this is a monthly wrap-up, I'll go ahead and look at it. Was my Sweet Summertime stitch. I can insert a picture of what it's going to look like when it's finished. But I did get some more progress in the month of August on this. I did some more outlining on the tail, and I did starting to do some fill-in. I'm recharting a bit of this, so you'll see more of what that's going to look like as I keep working on it. No deadlines for that, just taking it to work in between maybe other smaller projects. So that's mostly everything I've worked on. The last thing is not cross-stitch, but I can show it to you real quick. I'm working on a baby Afghan for a friend. It's gonna look like this, and I'm using this. I actually went over to a friend's house, and they had a friend's parents' house. Her mom had a winder to like make this into a cake. So I have my stuff caked up, which is nice. So that's all ready. So I'm doing this, and then I think the edging, the border is actually going to be done in black. So I started working on it. I don't think I have a lot of progress to show, but I can show you real quick. It's a really, I would say it's pretty beginner friendly. It's not too complicated. It's a lot of double crochet and chains. That's what this looks like so far. I've just got 7 rows in, working on row 8. So yeah, that's something. One of the other crafty things I've been working on here and there, and that's living in my stitch bag for now. So we have haul. I did not show this to you in the last video. I don't know, I can't remember if I was still waiting on it in the mail, or if it had come and I had just stashed it away somewhere for safekeeping. But I'm a part of a cross stitch de-scratch group, and I saw this posted for $25, and it's a memorabilia. It's Queen Mermaid. It's one of the out of print charts. When I first started collecting mermaids, I don't know if she was originally out of print or maybe recently out of print, but I wasn't like too concerned about buying her because at the time, I don't know why, I just didn't feel like stitching her. Maybe it's the tails. I don't know. I have a thing about mermaid tails where I like them to be really intricate, and this was like maybe like the bodies were very detailed and bejeweled and everything, but the fins seemed kind of less ornamental than some of her tails that she has on her other mermaids. So I wasn't really thinking about it, but then I kept seeing pictures about it on Facebook and, you know, people working on it on YouTube, and she looked really, really beautiful, especially the face and the details and her bodice and everything. So I decided, I changed my mind, I wanted to find her, but then, you know, the out of print charts can go for like crazy money sometimes. So I saw somebody selling it for $25. The reason why they were selling it for $25 is because there's some staining here in the back. I don't care, like, I consider the memorabilia charts that I have part of my collection, but I'm not like trying to keep everything in mint condition. So as long as I can still read the chart, I'm just happy. So I got this, and I'm very happy. Another mermaid for my collection, and I hope to eventually have her stitched up. I need to start being more intentional about maybe working on them. I know I'm working on Mermaid of the Pearls right now, but I haven't touched that this past month, so if I want to see it done so I can work with the other mermaids, I do need to get some more progress on that. So I did buy this. I forgot to show you that in the last video. The other things that I've been purchasing, I got some finishing tape, but it's So Emma cross stitch finishing tape, double-sided acid-free. I've seen people use this in their finishing videos on Flosstube. I know I've seen Danielle at Stitchery use something like this. And I want to try my hand at maybe finishing some smalls in a different way other than just framing them or making them into pillows. So I got this, maybe try something different out. I don't have any specific ideas for right now, but I do have some smalls that I'm going to start working on. The other thing that I wanted to get was this. It's a pad. I think Joann's also sells these, but I found it maybe a little bit cheaper on Amazon. It's a Bianfang 10 by 10 gridded paper design pad, and it's got just the perfect grid that you need for charting cross-stitch designs. It's got 11 blocks across, 16 blocks and change up and down. I figured that's enough because even if I wanted to do a larger pattern, I could just half the blocks. So this would be a 20 by 20 instead of a 10 by 10. I've done that before in some of my other gridded notebooks that weren't big enough for what I was trying to do. But I'm really happy with this. I don't think I'll have to go up to a higher size than this right now. And I want to potentially chart something. I don't want to give all the details right now because I'm still trying to see if it's going to be feasible, if I can actually get what I'm picturing in my head on paper. But I will give you updates on if that works out. This is more for like a personal use thing. I'm not necessarily thinking about going down, you know, the whole designing cross stitch thing. But it's just something that I had in my mind for somebody that I want to give to. So it's not, I can't find it, what I'm picturing for what I want. So I'm trying to create a picture I got in my head. I got that. Oh, so Autumn Lane Stitchery, I don't know, I think Cassandra had posted that they still had like a few boxes available, but they released their mermaid box today. I purchased it. It's a pre-order right now. They said they're going to be hoping to ship somewhere in late October. So I bought that. So obviously nothing to show you yet. I can do an unboxing of that when I get that. But I did also buy 2 of their mermaids that I haven't stitched yet. These were the last 2, and then obviously I'm getting the mermaid box, so that'll come with some additional charts and stuff in it. But I can insert pictures here. I bought the Hawaiian mermaid. I think that was one of the first mermaids that they put out. I hadn't stitched it yet. It's kind of a smaller one. So I bought that. I need to look at my fabrics and see. I'm pretty sure I have a fabric that I can go on already. I just gotta pick something. And then I also bought Siren of the Seas, which is a mermaid with some octopus technicals. Again, I'll insert a picture. You okay? I got my puppy here with me. But again, I haven't kitted it up yet. I just bought it today. But I've already started like measuring things out and seeing, trying to match out so I can start looking through my fabrics and seeing what I can match it up with. So that's for purchases. Plans. So I remember mentioning that I wanted to potentially do, well, it was my plan to do Sweet Wing Studio September. I have my first start already kitted. I think I showed it on Instagram and I made a post about it earlier. This was a fabric that I had in stash. I believe I don't have anything to measure it against. Well, actually, let me see if I have my... Where did I... Oh, right here. My cell is the same size. Yeah, so this is a 16 count Ada. I dyed this a while back, but it looked like it was good color for this. This is This I Know. It says Jesus Loves Me, This I Know by Sweet Wing Studio. I have this kitted up with some flosses that I got at the Stitch Florida retreat. I have Classic Colorworks Balsois, Fresh Raspberries, Tulip, and Pom Pom Pink. And I have Entice Petite by Rainbow Gallery. It'll be my first time using this, so it'll be interesting to see how it goes. I'm probably gonna start, maybe I'll start this today, we'll see. But I have 4 starts lined up for Sweet Wing Studio September, so that'll be the first one, and then I might do this on like a weekly basis and see how much progress I can get. I haven't decided if I'm going to take them to work or how I'm going to do this in between all the other stuff I want to get done, but go big or go home, right? The next one is the one that Susan charted specifically for the retreat, so you can't necessarily buy this. I think it was a retreat exclusive. It's called Choose Joy. It says, "The joy of the Lord is my strength." And I am doing this on a Daytona Sky linen 36 count by Black Cauldron Dye Works. Really pretty blue, and I bought the kit with the SDA silk, so it's got all the DMC and the purple silk and other floss in there. So yeah, so I have all kitted that at the retreat, so that'll be ready for after I get some progress on this. These, I haven't kitted them up yet. I have to match them up to fabric and get the threads. But these will be the next two. Fear not, for I am with you. Be not dismayed, for I am your God, Isaiah 41:10. And also bless and keep. The Lord bless you and keep you. So those are the 4 projects I'm planning on starting or working on this month for Sweet Wing Studio, as well as, you know, well, I guess I already did the progress that I was going to do on this, but if I get at the end of the month, I'll also be working on the next section for the Noblest part, for the Friendship Retreat Cell. So there's that. I'm starting to look out at the full coverage projects that I have patterns for that I haven't started. I have 3, and I can insert pictures here that I had bought from Thread Geeks when I finished some things. There was the Morgan, Persephone, and the Birth of Venus, which has Venus or Aphrodite. They're all based off artwork by Chrisbug. I have fabric that's big enough for it here. But what I've done, and I can insert pictures here of this too, is I've gone into Pattern Keeper and I've put the patterns in, and I've X'd out the background. I like working on bigger projects, but I've kind of been inspired by Kaylee Tent Stitch and the Queen of the Crop. And I've done some cropping to make it more manageable, and they've gotten closer to 100,000 stitches. So like the Morgan was originally 143,208 stitches, and after I took the background out and cropped it a bit, I got it down to 104,723 stitches. So I decreased it. I took out like 27% of the chart by taking out the background. For Persephone, I was able to get it down from 120,528 stitches to 89,129 stitches. So that was like 26% of the chart. And then for Birth of Venus, it was originally the same stitch count as the Morgan, 143,208 stitches, and I got it down to 106,769 stitches. So that's going to be the largest of the 3. But that was still, you know, almost 25%, well, over 25% of the chart, just by taking the background. So it just makes the stitch count more manageable, but I still want the effect of the background. So what I'm going to do is going to probably be doing some fabric dyeing. And interestingly enough, I do have some big pieces of 28 count even weave, and I have cashel linen too. I haven't done a full coverage on cashel linen, but it's still an even weave, so I can imagine it would stitch up. But I have this as well. But I was also looking in my stash of fabrics that I've thrifted, and I actually found this. It's not necessarily cross-stitch fabric, but when I measured it out, it seems like it's just slightly off for the count. Like it's 36 going one way and 38 threads going the other. So I'm thinking that's I'll be happy enough with that difference for it to be okay. I might actually try stitching these one leg cross 10 stitch with just one thread instead of doing 1 over 1, just doing 1 half stitch DMC. I don't know if that's making sense. But I still have to cut this down to see if I have the right sizing for it. This is, you know, kind of like a jagged cut. This was thrifted, so I'll have to see if the measurements actually line up. But it seems to be like I guess it's not an even weave, but it's some kind of it's close to being an even weave. But the weave is not necessarily even. And then the other thing that I've had on I've had this Haid that I bought, I think back in 2019. It's called Lily Fenick by Selena Fenick. It's no longer on the Haid website. Haid no longer has Selena Fenick's artwork on the site. But she's beautiful. She's a mermaid, of course. It was the first Haid that I bought, and she's big. She would be bigger than anything I've ever stitched on. And I don't think I would feel comfortable cropping any part of her. So I'm not the kind of person, I mean, I've had full coverage charts that I've worked on for years. Like, for example, my Dracarys piece is pretty big. I've been working that one for, you know, couple years now. But this project will potentially take me more than just a couple years, like 4 years more to complete if I, try to average around 100,000 stitches a year. So I'm trying to be intentional about that. I'm thinking I'm going to start it next year on my birthday, and then maybe by the time, 4 years goes around, like I'll, like if I'm able to keep up with it, I'll be happy with getting that stitched. But if I don't come up with some kind of a plan, like I'm never going to end up starting it, because if I ever think, I just can't imagine starting something that I just am planning on not finishing, and it is very big. So I want to be intentional about planning that out. So I'm planning ahead for next year, and I'm thinking that in order to get there, I'm going to have to double down on getting some more progress on my current full coverage. And the current full coverage that I have is my Gecko Rouge kits, right? The Yin Yang Dragons, the Dracarys that you just saw. And then I also have another one by Charting Creations that I bought last Christmas called I Tried. I can insert a picture. It's a Grinch one. That one is not nearly as big. I think it's like 28,000 stitches. So maybe if I start stitching that in October, like getting more progress on it, maybe like 500 stitches, here and there, I could maybe finish that by the end of the year as well. But if I get some of that stuff off my plate, then I'll be more comfortable, in a more comfortable position. And I'm thinking about breaking up the 3 Thread Geeks charts into 12-part pieces. I'm not saying that I would stitch each part a month, but maybe if I dye them and have them lined up, I can try to get one of those or get them into some kind of a rotation to where I break it into 12 pieces and maybe, finish one of those a year. I don't know. But I do, these are beautiful charts. I bought them because I want to stitch them. So I'm trying to figure out how to incorporate that. And how to deal with it, because usually I do tend to, well, I have been early on in my stitching more of a monogamous stitcher because of the fact that I like seeing progress, and I do want to see some of these things finished. And the more I move away from that, the more I'm trying to find a way to make it manageable and not stressful. Because, right, this is a hobby. It's supposed to be help us de-stress, not add stress onto us. So I'm working on how to manage that. So yes, wish me luck. I'm gonna try to see if I finish my Yin Yang Dragons this month, which will be good because I'm doing that as an anniversary piece for me and my husband, and we've been married for a couple years now. So I do want to have it done. If I get it done this month, then that'll give me time to add our wedding details and everything in between the dragons. So looking forward to that. So last thing I have is shoutouts. A new cross stitch or Flosstuber to me. I think a lot of people have been shouting them out. Is Captain Cross Stitch. Just found their videos. If you watch his last video, he showed he wanted to start an owl pattern or project in memory of his mom, and he had so many owl patterns. Really interesting. He was taking a vote on which one you think he should start. I think I went ahead and commented on which one I thought was good, but by all means go and check out his last video and give your input, and let him know which one. They all look amazing, so whichever one he picks will be interesting to see his progress on those. And I've just been watching so many other Flosstubers. I don't know that I could necessarily list off anybody in particular. I know I just, I mentioned Kaylee Tenstitch and the Queen of the Crop. Really enjoy watching their Flosstubes. I know Joedicke Heart-Nated Stitcher was also talking about some very ambitious plans that they have. I also watched Jamie, the Crafty Gamer, did a stitch with me here lately, so it was interesting. I was watching her videos and watching what she's stitching on, and I think it might have been a new start. So she is also working on these massive pieces, so I'm watching a lot of people and seeing how they manage it, to trying to get ideas and see how I can make this work for myself. And then Teresa Little Stitcher recently had a live with a friend of hers and talking about her pups and everything. They were having a good old time. It was very entertaining. So you can go and check that out. Yeah, just catching up on my Flosstube, watching things here and there, and just trying to
get some progress on my stitching. This month I actually got over 21,000 stitches in, so that is far above and beyond. I think I had a goal of 20,000 stitches, but I know for the good beginning part of the year, I was not matching up with the progress that I got the year before. Just a lot of stuff going on in my life. Been sick a lot this year, but it looks like I've hit my stride again, and I am happy for that because there's a lot of beautiful things that are coming out. You know, they just had another not Nashville needlework, but they had another, you know, needlework marketplace here lately, and you're seeing a bunch of good charts coming out of that. So I have some things that I'm keeping my eyes on. And then of course I'm going to be getting more mermaid charts from that mermaid box. I might, and this is crazy because I'm just talking about how a bunch of, you know, starting a bunch of stuff makes me feel kind of itchy, but if you have the stuff, you want to start it, right? You don't want it just to sit in a box for years on end. And I still have things from Leslie's mermaid box that I haven't started yet. I did the Sea Hag, I did the Here We May Be Free, for those are some smalls. I also started, there was like 4 projects in that. Oh, the Blue Lagoon Mermaid that I just showed you earlier, and there's one more in there that I haven't started yet. It is a kit. I have everything for it. I might think about starting that one maybe at the beginning of next month before the mermaid box comes, so that at least I have started everything in a mermaid box before I get the next one. But I'm really excited though. I've been waiting for this box from Autum Lane Stitchery for a year, so I'll be happy to get that and unbox it for you guys when it comes. And I'll probably end up filming it as soon as it gets here and then just inserting it into my weekly update because I'm gonna want to open that thing as soon as it gets here. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, I'm really excited. If you're going to join me for the Sweet Wing Studio September, that's what the hashtag is, Sweet Wing Studio September. You can tag me on Instagram. I have my Instagram linked in the description, but you can also find me under the same name as my Flosstube, Official Mermaids Cove. It would be best if you use the hashtag, go ahead and tag me because Instagram's doing that weird thing with the update that they did the hashtag, so it won't be as visible to me as it would be if you tagged me. So feel free to tag me if you're going to be doing this as well. I still have plenty of patterns of hers that are not included in just these 4 that I've shown in my other videos. Depending on how it goes with my other projects, I might start some more because it seems like as soon as it starts getting cold, I'm gonna want to lock in and stay home and snuggled and watch movies with my husband and do some stitching. So I'm hoping it ramps up a bit more so I can get more progress on all of these things and get to stitch all the beautiful things. That's what we all want, right? But yeah, that's everything I have. Thank you for coming and visiting my channel. I've gotten, every time I come to do a video, it seems like I've gotten more and more subscribers. I think we're up to 275 now, so we're getting close to 300. Maybe if we get to that point, if I actually finish Blue Lagoon Mermaid, I think there's enough fabric on there to stitch her again. And it's an exclusive chart. And this is Official Mermaids Cove, right? So maybe that would be a good giveaway. If I did, if I cut the fabric in half and I give you the fabric that you need to stitch that with the threads, because it's just DMC. I think maybe there's some treasure braid. I'll have to see. But I don't think I'm going to use a lot. That's a small pattern, so I can give you whatever's the remaining of the treasure braid. I don't think there's any beads in that one, but I can double check. But yeah, so maybe that'll be something I'll start thinking about here when we get there. But we're getting really close, so if you've subscribed, thank you. If you keep coming back, thank you. It's greatly appreciated. I'm meeting more and more people, and I'm getting more and more comments on the videos, so I'm getting to talk with you more, and I'm being more intentional about leaving comments when I watch other Flosstubers and you know, engage with them that way. This is a great community, making a lot of friends, and yep, things have been better here lately. I still don't have my car yet, but things are looking up. I'm having good times. But go ahead and take the time out to reach out to your friends, your family. You know, the weather's gonna start getting colder. People have seasonal, I can't remember what that is. Seasonal affective disorder? I could have totally butchered that. But I know sometimes I get that when the temperature starts getting colder and I just want to become a hermit and hibernate. So keep in touch with your friends and your loved ones, and hopefully you're having some good days too and enjoying yourself, enjoying some stitching. So until next time, bye.